I mean, Mississippi Queen, what a riff. So today, instead of just kind of trying to take you through this riff note for note or something like that, I want to talk about the concepts inside of it, because it is just so, the musical nutrients inside of this song, they're all there. We got it all. All your food groups are covered in this song because there are so many cool things inside of it. Oh man, we are in the back of the studio. We're packing things up here. If you guys dig anything that's going on in this riff video, we're talking about Leslie West, how awesome he is, check out my course that's on sale right now, The Art of the Riff. We're having a flash sale on it. We talk about all kinds of things riff related, about making your own riffs, talking about chord progressions, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to check that out, that is linked down below. Really appreciate the support. It's on sale right now. And let's get back to the lesson. I forgot to hit record on the guitar audio, but I stopped myself before I went any further. So one of the things I want to talk about with this song is the tone, obviously. So the tone's so important, but I think part of what always gets overlooked is, we talk about Leslie West, Les Paul Jr. into that Sun amp. What about the bass tone? That bass tone is so distorted and fat. It is just feeding. They're working so well together. So we got to talk about the tone too, because the part of what makes that riff so amazing is just the tone. No one else had a tone like that. I don't even know how to remotely get that tone. I just have this fuzzy, distorted tone right now. And then he goes into his amazing voice. Let me turn this down so I'm sure that I'm not clipping, because I've got the volume kind of rocking in here today. So things to talk about here. So what's happening right away in the beginning of the song? Well, I think that this is cool because of the string skip. So we're just getting nerdy over the song today. Think about if he went like this. Oh, that's not in your face. That's not attitude. He went. So it's all out of E, so you could think of this as being box 3 of your E minor pentatonic. A huge just riff mechacenter. There's so many riffs written out of this little kind of box shape, especially out of the key of E. So he's starting off, and anytime you can add that space to your notes, it always sounds cool. There's not a riff that whenever they add that, this jump, this string skip, that it's cool. So maybe you've got your own riff and you're kind of stuck, and you're like, oh, what if I went, look, I took an idea. To me, it's moving away from the Mississippi Queen sound a little bit. It's still kind of there because it's very, very similar. But already taking something from it, boom, started doing our own thing. Now, the next thing that was always fascinating to me is that they kick off the song with that, and then they just go right into the 5 chord. Right into the B. So out of the key of E, you gotta think your E is your 1, A is your 4, B is your 5. So he's just right in. He's like, you know what? 5 chord. Down to the 4. So it's typically that's the walk down after you've done your 1 chord, because he kind of did, I guess. That's your 1 chord. 1 chord. And then he goes 5, 4, back to 1. Now, how boring would it have been if he just did what I just did? It wouldn't have been as exciting. What did Leslie West do? He added more space to the chords. He kept the chords simple, and being a smaller band, he's doing both lead and rhythm at the same time. So he's created a riff that it has space to do both if he needs to. And we'll talk about the intro solo here in a second too, because there's a few pointers I want to do about that as well. But for now, let's just focus on the riffs. So he goes into this. Now he adds space, and then he's adding these little riffs on top of it. Now, I'm not saying I know how to play this song note for note perfect. I did not, hone in and try to get it that way. I was just more focused on little things that I took away from it as a player. Because I remember learning it, and I'm just like, oh, that's cool. He's doing both. He's got like the rhythm, now, throw in a little lick. Back into that, and then that when he does that part there, I'm always just like, that's the coolest. It doesn't matter how many times I hear that. I love it. Every single time. Every single time I love that. Now that little intro solo, a couple things that are cool to me, and when I hear people play it, they play a little bit different than Leslie. So we have, I don't know the exact notes of it. But what I always took away from it was how short and choppy the notes were. So you've got to really make sure you... he's not letting those notes linger. He's playing them pretty quickly, and he's, just hopping off the note, going right on to the next one. It's not real kind of like... It's... that real... Not that, but... And I always thought he was doing up picks. I watched some videos. He's definitely down picking it. But I always thought it sounded like the bloom of the note. I always thought he was doing up picks there. But like I said, from the videos I watched live, he was always doing down picks. But there's that in there too. So you can see there's just so many cool things. He wrote one of the greatest riffs ever. It's simple, yet it's just full of things. There's so many cool things that we can take away from this. Now, there is one part in here that I thought was really, really cool, because I think he's probably just doing all this stuff naturally, but we can take it and learn to do our own thing with it. So at the one part right before he goes to the I guess we'll call it the chorus, the riff, he goes back, that I told her, bar dresses that shine. He goes, I guess, that when he hangs on to that note, it builds so much tension, and it makes it build up. Mississippi Queen, if you know what I mean. He's got such a good voice. He does that, and I think I've even watched an interview of him talking about that. I think when he does the A, I think sometimes he plays that open A string with it, because he was talking about how he filling more space while he was doing those riffs. So I always thought that was fascinating. Here it's this big kind of like minor sounding riff. He's just like, yo, major pentatonic all over the place. I mean, there's just so many cool things. It's one of the greatest riffs ever. If you've never really sat there and dissected it and just tried to figure out all the little things in there, well, guess what? We just did it. It just happened. So go have fun with that one. If you're a beginner watching this stuff, pay attention to all of the little details inside of these riffs that you're learning. You're creating this guitar soup that you're going to be using your entire life, and it's these little things that you're going to pick up from the legends like Leslie West, like the Jimmy Pages, like all that kind of, iconic guitar players. You're doing your own thing with them. So anyways, guys, hope y'all have a good rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye, homies. Woo! End it bluesy, Les Paul Jr. style. Leslie West style.